Frick. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. My name is Garrett, and this is 0 to 100, my journey of going from no experience whatsoever to competing in an Ironman triathlon. Week one, just finished up a little over a 5-mile run. This is my first of 3 runs for the week. Nice slow pace. I was only running 11 minutes per mile, which I can't do a whole lot better than that right now, to be honest with you. Tomorrow I have my long run. Yesterday on the 4th of July, I had my hard bike, which was one of the hardest workouts I've ever done in my entire life. And it was absolutely the hardest cycling session I've ever done in my entire life. It was so hard, I was like almost in shock. Got to the top of one of the hills and just threw up. Man, I am like, if you guys can see this, but I am sweating profusely. It is so humid. It's like 95% humidity here in this Austin morning. But yesterday I only rode 39 miles, which I think is like 63 kilometers. So it's not a ton. I've done over 100 miles earlier in June, but this was in the West Hills of Austin and Westlake Hills, and it was absolutely brutal. That's good. Yes. This week is a big week for me because I'm getting back into training after being injured. And I gave myself an entire week off, lost an entire week in the training process. But hey, I decided that, look, you can either 1, give up, 2, get hurt worse and lose the entire thing, or 3, take a solid week, go from there. So finally jumping back in this week. I can't wait to get back in the gym. I can't wait to start running, even though I hate it. So we'll see where this goes. When I tell you I have a dramatic dog for a golden doodle, this is exactly what I mean. Look at the way this guy is situated on his couch. Why are you laying like that? Could you at least look at the camera? Oh, don't get upset. It's just your own image. What's the issue, little dog? What are you so upset for? Why are you so dramatic? So today we'll be talking about what training looks like pragmatically on a day-to-day basis, the actual plan that I'm on, where I'm currently at in the process, how much time I spend training per day, per week, where I need to get towards the end of 2023 into 2024 to make sure I'm actually on track. We'll also look at each discipline in a little bit of a breakdown of how this looks, what it takes, and then even, the training that leads up to being able to do the Ironman training. There's something to talk about there too. So as a recap, if you didn't know what an Ironman was before, or if you're stumbling across this video and haven't seen my previous for the first time, an Ironman is a triathlon that is in succession: swim, bike, run. It is a 2.5-mile swim followed by a 112-mile bike followed by a full marathon, 26.2 miles. That typically takes people between 10, 12, 15, sometimes 17 hours. Professional athletes do it in a little bit less. Pretty amazing. But I am neither professional nor amateur. I think I'm just an introductory hobbyist trying to figure this out and see if I can survive the first time. So my training will probably look very different than typical triathletes who have an actual background and have experience and have a base to do this well. I'm going from nothing. And that's why I see this as 0 or 100, is because I either have to go all in or go all out. And I'm literally going from 0 to 100 in this process with no triathlon experience. I know it's crazy. It feels crazy to me every single day. So what does it actually look like to train for an Ironman or a triathlon of any kind. A traditional training approach, which my coach has me on, looks like 3 running sessions per week, 3 biking sessions per week, and 3 swim sessions per week. Typically, when you do that, you want to break each of those disciplines down into, for example, 1 really hard and intense cycling session, 1 long distance cycling session over many hours, and then 1 easy cycling session. All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Today has not gone according to my plan. I was supposed to hit the gym this afternoon, but I hit my first low moment in Ironman training. I was so tired in the middle of the day that I was struggling not to fall asleep in broad daylight in the thick of traffic on the way home. I was this close to pulling over on the side of the highway and going to sleep because I was so scared. This never happened to me in my life. So I think I'm in the midst of Ironman training, exhaustion, trying to survive. So I slept for a couple hours. Now it's the evening, sun's getting ready to go down. Got my long run for the week, got the easy run done, 5.25 miles earlier this week. Now it's time for the long run. I'm here with one of my very best friends, Nathan, and we're gonna do this 10-ish miles together, mostly trail running, but I'm not even sure I'm gonna survive this one because I was literally that exhausted earlier. So gonna go knock this sucker out, see how we feel, but as Mr. Goggins would say, stay hard. Stay hard.
I almost got bit by a coral snake just now. According to Nathan, I stepped right over it and it struck at him. I don't know if it was real, but I saw the snake.
It was real.
It was real.
Just over 10 miles in the books with the great and powerful Nathan Leary, who's over here in the dark. I doubt you can see him right now. 10 miles in the books, Thursday night. That's the long run for this week. At the beginning of this process, I learned a lot. One of the things I noticed about most triathletes in my age category, they're typically at a body mass index of 24 or less. When I started this journey, I was 28.5 body mass index, so pretty far off where successful triathletes tend to be. That's not an absolute truth. It's a generality that you can use as a good rule of thumb. And many triathletes are even leaner than that, by the way. I started off at 201 pounds on May 1st, and I worked my way down to 191 by June 1st. At the beginning of July, I worked my way down to 179 pounds. So currently, at the time of recording this, somewhere around 25.5 BMI. So getting much closer. I actually did not intend to lose that much weight that fast. I think what I did was plan on a typical pace at which I would lose weight to a training plan that I would use for myself or anybody else, which is just a 20% calorie deficit based on TDEE, which is total daily energy expenditure. We can go into that. Or a 20% calorie deficit based on your BMR, your basal metabolic rates, plus the active calories that you're expending daily, which is more or less effectively your TDEE. For me, that looks like a BMR of around 2,200 calories per day. I was averaging between the gym and walking and wearing my Apple Watch. I'll go into the kind of tech that I use and what I use to track things and apps and all that stuff. I promise to share all that. But at the beginning, I was noticing around basically 750 to 1,000, sometimes 1,200 active calories burned a day, according to my Apple Watch and my Whoop. I wear two things. I know, I'm crazy. And so the good news was that they agreed on that. And so effectively, I needed to take a deficit, a 20% deficit from around 32 to 3,300 calories a day. So at 20%, that's several hundred or more in a day that I'm not consuming. That was my plan. But what I really didn't consider was how many more calories and how intense of an acclimation period this was going to be for my body to get into distance training. And so I lost much more than I intended, which I'm excited about because looking better, looking leaner, which I really enjoy, but also I'm getting closer to that BMI goal of 24 or less. And I know that's not the best North Star. There's probably people that would say, I would look at this metric versus that. It's just a generality. And again, I'm not a professional here. I'm just someone that knows next to nothing, putting some effort in and moving towards a goal. So I'm learning. And if you have suggestions on how I should go about this, put it in the comments. I'll read them. I'll respond to them. I'll go through and I'd appreciate that. But as of today, I'm just trying to get to a simple BMI that's more comparable to a triathlete that does an Ironman well. And that seems to be 24 or less for my age category. I'm currently thinking and looking at the plan, I'm thinking that I need to get down to around 165 pounds. So I've got another 10 to 15 to go, which I think will get me closer to 23 or 24 BMI if I'm not doing the math incorrectly. What I've noticed along the way, by the way, in this process of losing weight, not for aesthetics, not for anything else other than just wanting to be able to sustain the training, I don't think I've seen much of a big difference in terms of relief on muscles or the cardiovascular system, but I've definitely noticed a huge difference in the load that my knees, my hips, my ankles, my joints, ligaments, tendons, the stress they are feeling and how hard or not it is to recover. And it's becoming more and more clear that every unnecessary pound you're carrying in an endurance sport is just making it so much harder on you. And if you're just starting in this or you're on a journey yourself, there's no judgment here. I'm just referring to my own experience and how unbelievably hard this sport is. I'm also trying to acclimate to trying to be a triathlete the first time. So there's just an enormous move from 0 to 1 for me to get used to these things. It's just a lot. So I want to make it as easy as I can on my body, which is why I'm dropping the weight. I'm hoping that in the next basically 6 to 8 weeks, by the end of August or beginning of September, that I can get down to at least 170, hopefully 165 pounds, and be at my leanest state that I've been probably since the beginning of high school. I don't want to lose muscle. I'm sure I'm going to lose more. The exciting thing right now, which I'm feeling very encouraged about, is that I haven't lost any strength. In fact, over the last 8 weeks, as I've dropped these 20 pounds, I have gained strength in my chest, my bench press. I've gained strength. I'm definitely losing strength in my legs. At first, I was training my legs in the gym. I got a early injury really quickly, and several triathletes and a couple of doctors told me kind of unreasonable for me and my experience level being 0 to continue lifting weights, putting my legs under that intense strain and needing to recover, but then also doing 3 run sessions per week and 3 bike sessions per week. If you're new here, be sure to look back on previous videos and to check out other content in my channel. I'll link in the description below the videos on why I'm doing this, what got into me, what motivation I have, where I came from in the process. All those questions will be answered. Check the links in the description for that. And hey, can I just make one request? If you enjoyed this on any level or you found this interesting at all, I would be so grateful to have you click that subscribe button below and turn on notifications for when I upload new videos once a week. It would mean a lot to me to have you on this journey.